All right, welcome back, everybody. This is going to be the recap for this last week of 2021, ending on 12/31/2021. Have some new things coming in 2022. First of all, I'm going to be working on a live morning show. So this is going to be the opportunity for anybody that wants to watch for the first few hours of the day, me calling out my setups. So you can actually watch it live now as I call out the setups. We'll be looking at, of course, the Forex pairs. We will also be looking at gold. We'll be looking at silver, crude oil. We'll be looking at the US 500, which is basically an E-mini. We'll be looking at the Russell. So we're going to be covering a lot of different things. So it's going to be, I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and certainly it's going to give the opportunity for a lot of people to kind of watch our style. Once again, you know, we don't use indicators. I'm not a believer in indicators. So we're going to show you that really the key to trading is going to be based on patterns, and we're going to be able to demonstrate that every morning live for those that are interested. Also, don't forget, we still are having the live webinars, all right? So make sure you sign up for our next live webinar. Make sure you get on that. And also, we're still running the special. You can try before you buy. You can have a free week in the trial room where you will watch one of the setups, one of our patterns. You can watch that for a whole week free. If you want to stay, it's just $50 a month. That also is going to include the daily setups, all right? So that daily is meaning that we put them out the night before, you put them on, and you let them expire the following day. So those that don't have time to day trade, so to speak, these are basically a set and forget type trade. You put them on, you let them go. So be watching for that. Okay, so let's take a look at our stats for the week and see how we did. Okay, so here we go. Let's take a look at our stats for this week. Once again, this is going to be the PAP pattern. It's a total of 5 different patterns with the core package. This is just one. This is called the PAP. It's probably the most popular and the one I've been tracking all year. And of course, this is naked, meaning that it is a naked setup. We have a total of 4 different dimensions that we look at when we're trading. Each one is providing a different little bit of information about the market. This is assuming you're only looking at the first 2 dimensions, okay? There is a total of 4. So we call it naked because even if you are an inexperienced trader, the idea here is that your trade has the probability of being successful way better than 50-50, okay? On average, these patterns are running anywhere between 75 to 80% probability of success. So that's why I also show the first trade of the day. There's nothing magical here about the first trade of the day. I start my day typically around 8 a.m. Central Time. Whichever one of these 4 develops first is the one that I'm taking, even on the pound, which I don't even trade, all right? Going into 2022, not sure I'm even going to be tracking the pound anymore because it's just not one that I trade a lot. All right, so I'm probably going to be getting rid of that. And as I mentioned, we're beginning doing things a little bit different going into 2022. And I think it's going to be better for everybody, even though those that haven't even joined, they're at least going to be able to join me in the morning as I provide a couple hours of trading where I'll be calling up setups, not only in the Forex pairs, but we're going to be looking at other instruments as well, gold, silver, the US 500, the Russell, and so forth, okay? So really looking forward to that. But stats, once again, right where I would expect them. As I mentioned last week, focusing on the Euro US and the US Yen, always my 2 favorite. I did a little bit on the Aussie US this week, but mainly it's been in the Euro and in the Yen. And as you can see, the percentages were really good. So once again, if you look at your Euro and you look at the US Yen, in the morning, close to 70% on the Euro, and of course 73% on the Yen. That's kind of what I would expect. But the evenings were really strong, 82% on the Euro and 93% on the Yen. Folks, you can't beat that. It's hard to get those kind of percentages consistently. And remember, once again, if you've been watching any of my prior videos, I have shown that over tens of thousands of this particular setup, okay, this one setup is running 76%, and that's over tens of thousands of setups for just this one pattern. So very strong. Never do expect it to not provide those types of percentages. Why? Because it's based off of a very predictable behavioral pattern, all right? And if you haven't attended one of my live webinars, please do, because I go in a little bit more details on how it can be highly predictable, all right? You'll see for yourself. But nonetheless, first trade of the day, so morning, 3 out of 5, 60%. Yeah, it's not what I would expect. 100% in the evening, so on average, once again, see, we're getting up around that 75%, okay? So this is what I would expect on a first trade of the day, but once again, that's just the very first trade of the day. Let's look at my trading. Once again, core and CB, did some core and CB now. Still, this was a very tough week, so if you are one that had a tough week, it was a tough week. I had to really focus. I had my ups and downs. I was red coming into a couple of the days. Coming in on Monday, I was red, and coming in on Wednesday, I actually had a red day. But I was able to pull out for a small little gain. But once again, keep in mind that I've been doing this for 40 years, so these results are not typical. Let me also mention that most traders end up losing money. Why? Because trading is more than just having the right tools. It also having the right mindset. A big part of this game is what's in your head. You have to have discipline, but you also have to have good tools, yes, but you also have to have experience. And if you don't and are not willing to put in the time to study the markets and get familiar with how they move, then this is probably not going to be a profession for you. This is not, you cannot treat trading like a hobby. This is not going to be a hobby, okay? I know you've been misinformed by a lot of false advertising, but no, it's never that easy, okay? It does take your dedication. If you're willing to put in the time and work hard at it and do your research and put in a lot of screen time, then yes, you can be successful. If you're not willing to do that, then you really need to let somebody else manage your money for you and let them put in their years of experience and handle your money, okay? So that being said, not a bad week overall. Once again, 2022, we're going to be making some changes here, I think better for everybody. I'm going to be doing a lot more of my live, okay, calling out these trades live so people can see how effective they are. And not only that is I want to start looking at students. I have students that are now going into this full time, and I want to start looking at their results. It doesn't really matter my results. I've been trading for 40 years. What should be important to you is what can I teach somebody that maybe only has 0 experience up to several years of experience? Can I turn them? Okay, will my method help them become a profitable trader? That's really what's important, not how well I do, all right? What's important is how well are my students doing. So I want to start talking a lot more about that, doing more, talking to my students, not only that, but them providing me with their results. How are they doing? Because that's really the most important thing for you if you're considering getting the core packages. Can this help me become a successful trader? Can I teach what I know? And I know I can, and so I want to start delving more into that as we get into 2022. That being said, I do hope everybody had an enjoyable new year. Looking forward to 2022. We'll start off this Sunday night, and we'll start once again going at the markets. I expect this first week of the year to be a very good week. It typically is. So I expect a lot of action, okay, on Monday. So looking forward to that. But we're going to start off Sunday night, and we're going to start delving into these currency pairs. We should start to see some pre-action coming in early. So we'll see how we do. That being said, any questions, you can always go to binaryprostrategies.com. Always glad to answer your questions if you have any. Check out my specials that are going on. And besides that, we will see everybody next weekend with my next weekly recap. Y'all take care.